Today it's more of a Vinyasa flow, so we'll be working through a variation of a sun salutation and we'll be taking it in a Mandala flow style, so around the mat. So this will give you some really great time to feel those movements, to feel that breath, whilst we're tailoring it down to slightly simpler movements. So I really want you to feel that inhale, use the inhale for a lengthening, and that exhale, use it to go deeper into a pose and really feel like that air is coming all the way out of your stomach, ready for that next inhale. And if you can think about the inhale working towards the full expression, so if we're reaching our hands high, that inhale continues going until you reach all the way up. And that exhale continues going until you go all the way down to the end of the next posture. That is going to really help you identify what your breathing is like, the capacity of your breath, and how you move with that breath as well. So a few things to think about, but mostly it's all about having a nice time, right? So we're going to start standing today. Come to the top of the mat. Feet just over hips width apart, toes facing straight forward. Now think about all of those things we spoke about yesterday. So all four corners of the feet grounding into the mat. Hands away from the body, palms facing away. Closing down the eyes. Already here thinking about that pelvis. Does it need to be tucked under or do you need to take it out? How are those shoulders? Are they rolling forward? Are they scrunched up to your ears? Alignment of the shoulders and ears, make sure they're over one another. And the crown of the head is nice and tall to the ceiling. Starting to activate those thighs, so pull up those knees. So you feel really strong in this position. Core ever so slightly engaged, so pull that belly button towards your spine. Still allowing that breath to flow. Big inhale, hands go up, gaze goes up, keeping the eyes closed if that's comfortable. Big exhale, bend the knees a lot, sweep the hands to the side, come all the way down. Big inhale, hands come all the way back up, gaze up. Exhale all the way down, starting to warm up those hamstrings and that back. Big inhale all the way up. Exhale, remembering to bend those knees a lot on your exhale. Inhale all the way up. One more time, big exhale all the way down. Inhale all the way up. Leave your hands halfway at shoulder height. Inhale, take the hands back, draw the shoulder blades together, pull that heart through, almost like you're coming into your cow pose. Exhale, draw those hands forward, arching through the back, pulling the belly button to your spine, tucking the chin to the chest. Big inhale, pull those hands back again as much as you can, keeping a nice slight bend in the knees. Exhale, hands all the way forward. Inhale one more time, hands back. Exhale all the way forward. Hands back to the side, big inhale, left hand up and over. Reaching that right hand down to the ground even more. Stretching through the left side of the body. Remembering those inhales and exhales. Big inhale, switch all the way over, right hand up and over. Keep that chest open, make sure your right shoulder is bright and open rather than crunched in. Inhale all the way up. Big inhale, hands all the way up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, really bend those knees enough so your chest can rest onto your thighs, head is hanging. Grabbing hold of the opposite elbows, coming into your ragdoll. Swaying from side to side. Feeling those ankles and feet engaging in different parts as you come each way. Forwards and backwards. allowing that head to hang really heavily, stretching out through the whole of the back of the neck. Coming to stillness, planting the hands down, straightening through as much as you can through one leg, trying to keep the weight in the toes. Exhale, release, inhale, straighten through the other leg. Doesn't have to be straight, just work towards it. Exhale, keep paddling through the feet like so. Just warming up those hamstrings nice and slowly. Couple more times, and you can always hold one leg if it feels good, if it feels like that's going to help you stretch out. Try to keep a nice open chest, so leading with your chest rather than your shoulders. Coming back to stillness, planting those hands a lot, making sure your fingers are spread, stepping those feet straight back, knees down. In our high plank modification here, now push the mat away, engage that core ever so slightly, tuck the pelvis so your bum isn't sticking out. Hands ever so slightly in front of your shoulders. That's going to give us the space for our torso to come all the way down at the same time. Inhale, shoulders come over the wrists, keep pushing the mat away. And on your exhale, elbows straight back, biceps hugging into your chest. Try to go as slowly as possible and flop down to the mat when you need. Forehead down. Big inhale into your cobra, pull the shoulder blades together, reaching through that chest. Gaze just slightly diagonally forward in front of your mat. Exhale, release, forehead down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. One more time, big inhale. Hands come off, make sure you're using that back muscle. Driving the pelvis into the ground. Remembering to breathe. Exhale all the way down, planting those hands, pushing up through your all fours, tucking your toes, setting up for your downward dog, so make sure your hands are really firm to the ground, your fingers are spread widely, you're pushing through the L's of the fingers, so remember thumb and the index finger, because quite a lot of the times you'll start to rotate to the outside. Engage the core, ever so slightly tuck the pelvis. Protract those shoulders so you're separating them already. Big inhale. Exhale, push all the way up. Downward dog, heels off, knees bent, absolutely fine. And even if you never get to straightening those legs and heels on the ground, that is better than compromising your pose here. Externally rotating those shoulders, so away from your face, separating the shoulder blades. Keeping a nice amount of distance between your ears and your shoulders. Core is engaged. Keep pushing the mat away, sending the weight backwards. Inhale, pick up your right leg into your three-leg dog. Toes are facing straight down, foot is flexed. Bend up through your right leg and draw the right knee to the sky to your scorpion dog. Keeping those shoulders square to the mat, there's a tendency to pick up that right shoulder. Keep opening up through that hip, driving that knee to the sky. Squeezing that left bum cheek is going to help that opening. Keep breathing, keep pushing the mat away. Big inhale, come to the tippy toes of your left foot. And on your exhale, draw that right knee all the way through to your nose in your tiger curl, pushing the mat away and stepping straight through to your warrior two. Maybe you need to give your foot a bit of a hand. Make sure your knee and ankle are in line. Big inhale, warrior two. Settle in here, make sure that inner thigh is doing a lot of work, drawing that knee to the outside edge of the foot. Shoulders away from the ears. Working this back leg as much as the front, grounding the outside edge of that back foot. Inhale, reverse that warrior, straightening up through that front leg, palm flips, reaching backwards. And spinning around to the back of the mat now, hands cartwheel all the way down to the ground, so you're in your low lunge with your left foot bent. Planting those hands, stepping the right foot to meet the left, forward fold, toes touching heels apart. Inhale, halfway lift, straightening that back, absolutely knees bent, hands on the shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up through standing. Big inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, all the way down, forward fold, knees bent, chest to thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, make sure those shoulders are pulled back. Exhale, fold. Planting those hands, stepping straight back. You can stay down on your knees for your high plank. Make sure your hands are slightly in front of your shoulders. Inhale, shoulders come over your wrists. Engaging the core, tucking the pelvis. Exhale, elbows straight back, biceps hugging into your ribs. All the way down, forehead down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, release. Either tucking the toes, pushing all the way up through your plank, or coming up through your all fours, straight back to your downward dog. Inhale, picking up this right leg again, straight through to your tiger curl, so tippy toes of the left foot. Draw that right knee to your nose, push the mat away, create space to step through. Setting up for your warrior two. Settling in here again. Feel those feet pulling in towards one another. That's going to help you feel nice and lifted. Inhale, flip that palm, reverse the warrior, straighten through that front leg. Keep that movement going, cartwheel those hands all the way down, left leg bent. Right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up through standing. Inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step straight back, high plank, knees up or knees down. If your knees are up, drive through those heels. Keep pushing the mat away. Inhale, shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, come all the way down or halfway. If you're halfway, you're coming into your upward dog, so make sure your thighs are off of the ground. Exhale through your all fours or straight back to your downward dog. Left side now, pick up that left leg, three-leg dog. Foot flex, toes straight down. Bend that knee, draw that knee up to the sky, scorpion dog. Make sure those shoulders are square to the ground, the chest is square. Working through those glutes to keep drawing that knee higher. Working to the full inhales and exhales. Inhale, tippy toes of the right foot. Exhale, draw this left knee tight curl all the way through to the nose, pushing the mat away, stepping through, setting up for your warrior two. Big inhale all the way up. Settling in here, making sure that inner thigh is doing a lot of the work. Back leg is grounding the outside of that foot down. Inhale, flip that palm, reverse the warrior, straighten that leg. Keep going all the way down to the back of the mat. Pick up the left foot, meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up through standing. Inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Step straight back to your high plank. Inhale. Exhale, hands over the wrists. All the way down or halfway. Through to your upward dog or your cobra. Exhale, all the way back, downward dog. Left leg straight up, three-leg dog. Tiger curl, draw that left knee to your nose, push the mat away. Step straight through, set up your warrior two. Big inhale. Inhale, reverse that warrior, straighten up through that front leg. And keep all the way down to the front of the mat. Pick up the left foot, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. And again, inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Step straight back, high plank. Inhale, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, all the way up halfway. Cobra or up dog. Really using that inhale and the exhale. Exhale, all the way back, downward dog. Inhale, three-leg dog, right leg up. Exhale, tiger curl, draw that knee to the nose. Stepping straight through for your warrior two. Inhale, reverse that warrior. All the way down, low lunge. Right foot to meet the left, forward fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. Inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, all the way down. Halfway lift. And fold. Step straight back, high plank. Shoulders over wrists, all the way or halfway. Upward dog or cobra. Downward dog. Right leg all the way up, three-leg dog. Tiger curl, knee to nose. Step straight through for your warrior two. Reverse that warrior, big inhale. Exhale, come all the way down, front of the mat. Right foot meets the left and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up through standing. Final time the left side. Remember, your breath might be different to mine, so you go at your own pace. Inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Step straight back, high plank. Shoulders over the wrists. Coming all the way to the end of your exhale before you come into your upward dog or cobra. Pushing all the way back, downward dog. Left leg high, three-leg dog. Tiger curl, left knee towards your nose. Stepping straight through, setting up for your warrior two. Reverse that warrior, straighten up that leg. All the way down to the back. Left foot to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. And fold. Inhale all the way up through standing. Last time, really feel that breath and movement. Inhale, hands up, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Step those feet straight back, high plank. Inhale, shoulders over the wrists. Using the whole of the exhale to come to the ground or halfway. Upward dog, big inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg straight up, three-leg dog. Tiger curl, bend that knee, drive the knee to the nose. Stepping straight through, setting up for your warrior two. Inhale, reverse that warrior. All the way down, low lunge. This time picking up our left foot and taking it behind the right for a crossed forward fold. Keeping the knees bent and really hanging out here, feeling a deep stretch down that outer side of the left hip. Feeling that head hanging nice and heavily. Uncrossing, crossing over to the other side, right foot behind the left and fold. Stretch down the right outer hip now.
Remembering to breathe, taking that breath to the back and sides of the ribs. Take your right foot back to meet the left. Now this is where you might need a block coming into a Malasana Squat. Walking the feet to about hips width distance apart, toes facing diagonally out. We're sinking our bum down. So a block super helpful if you need to sit on it, to just give yourself a little bit of height if the heels are quite far away from the ground. The other thing you can do is roll up your mat and put your heels on there. Take the hands to heart center, elbows drawing towards those knees. Driving those knees outwards and try and find stillness here. Taking the head, the crown of the head high. And feeling that belly soft, rising and falling. Two more rounds of breath here, really big inhale. And exhale. Hands down to the ground, wiggle those feet all the way in. Toes touching, heels apart, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And fold. Big inhale, roll all the way up through standing. Coming into our chair pose, so again, toes touching, heels apart if this is comfortable for your hips, or take your feet hips width apart and make sure they're parallel. Make sure your thighs are drawing in towards one another at all times. Big inhale, hands up, sink that bum down. Feel like your hips are squeezing into center, almost like there's a corset around them, and the underneath of your belly button that is pulling in. Ever so slightly, if you feel like you've got an extra tuck in your back, you're sticking your bum out, pull the fronts of the hip bones towards the face. Make sure you can see your toes. And those thighs, like I said, are really working in towards one another. Your chest is nice and open. Wiggle the toes, make sure the weight is back in the heels. And if you can, sink a little bit further down. Remembering to breathe. Holding here for 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really good. Sink all the way down to seated, all the way to your bum, legs out in front, knees bent. Coming into our boat pose. Now, boat pose can either look like this, or you can start to take the legs off. Now, if you're like this is still going to do a lot of work, because you want to work this core driving into your spine, keeping the chest nice and open. So rather than slouching down like this, you're feeling like you're pulling everything through to keep nice and lifted. And you're sitting right on the top of your sit bone, so the hard part of your bum. So pull out those bum cheeks so that you can feel that groundedness. So maybe you're just here, or maybe you're starting to lift one leg and the other. Maybe you feel okay, let's try it with both legs up. Even if you wobble around, just make sure you're pulling this chest through so you've got a nice straight back. Maybe from here you start to lift one leg and the other, but try not to compromise that nice open chest. Wherever you are, we're holding again, 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. All the way down. Coming up to seated. Good job. Okay, coming into butterfly pose, taking the soles of our feet together. Now when we're in a seated position, what could be really helpful if you're starting again to feel slouched down like this, sitting on a block or a big book, it's going to give you that extra lift to allow you to sit up nice and straight. So you assess where you want to go, but we want to keep a really nice, bright, open chest. It's going to feel a lot more comfortable for you as well. So we're here in our butterfly. Interlace the fingers, put them around your feet or grab hold of the calves, ankles, wherever feels comfortable for you. Inhale, pulling the heart through, drawing the shoulder blades together, shoulders down. On your exhale, we're tipping from our pelvis, so almost feel like you're sticking your bum out and you're leading with your chest, you're not leading with the shoulders. This means you're not going to get very far, but still use the power of that breath. You can take the elbows to the sides of those legs, drawing those knees further down. Keep pulling that heart through, keep sticking that bum out, feeling like you're folding from the hips, keeping the ears in line with the shoulders. Final inhale, think about lengthening the crown of the head longer. And on your next exhale, we're completely relaxing here, so fold all the way over. Feel that head hanging really heavily. You can take your heels so they're a little bit further away from the groin if that's going to be a bit more comfortable for you. With every exhale, feel that head sinking closer towards your feet. Feel that breath expanding through the back and sides of the ribs. Final inhale, exhale. Inhale, roll really slowly all the way back up to seated. Bring these knees back in towards one another. Taking the hands in front, really slowly rolling all the way down, using every single vertebrae to roll through. Setting up for our bridge pose, so take the feet so you can just about touch them with your hands. They're placed hips width distance apart and your knees are facing straight up to the sky. Like we were doing with our chair pose, and we were feeling the inner thighs grounding towards one another. We want to do this in our bridge as well, because quite a lot of the time people will start to roll to the outside of their feet and their knees go outwards. That is not going to help our knee joint. Our knee joint is only meant to go forwards and backwards. Hands placed beside you, palms facing down. That's going to give you a little bit of extra stability. Feel all four corners of the feet grounding into the mat, so just maybe roll to the insides of the feet and the outsides just so you can find that neutral position. Next, inhale, we're tucking the pelvis under, so you're pulling your hip bones to your face. And as soon as you can't tuck anymore, drive the bum off of the ground, squeezing those glutes. Continuing that action of drawing those thighs towards one another. Check in with those feet. Can you feel the big toe and the little toe on the mat? Breathing here. Exhale all the way down. Only for a second, 2 more times. Big inhale all the way up. Checking with those thighs and the feet, making sure the knees are pointing straight up. Making sure you're working those glutes. You can always give them a bit of a poke, see if they're doing anything. Exhale all the way down. This time either you stay here or when we start to lift, you can interlace your hands underneath your back. The little finger side is grounded onto the mat, and you start to wiggle your shoulders so they're fully underneath you, so you've got a channel running underneath the shoulder blades so that it's completely lifted off of the ground. Keep pulling the chest through, keep drawing the shoulders towards one another to keep growing through that gap. Remember to think about the lower body though, grounding the big toes, drawing the knees directly up, thighs working, really engaging those glutes. 3 more breaths here. Final breath for me, really slowly come all the way down, taking those shoulders away from one another again. Feet walk to the outside of the mat, knock the knees in. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your chest. Just allow your body to get heavy again into the mat. Breathing here, nice big inhales and exhales. Maybe even closing down the eyes. Coming all the way up to seated now, so walk those feet back into center. Roll over to one side, come all the way up. Coming into our deer pose. So we're going to have our left leg in front and our right leg behind. Block could be handy. So we're thinking about this 90-degree angle both sides. So concentrating on the left leg first. We've got our left hip facing straight forward. In front of that is our left knee. Out to the side is our left foot flexed. Right hip directly out to the side is our right knee. Directly behind is our right foot. Now, depending on the tightness of your hips, you may start swaying over to the left. This is where putting the block underneath that left bum cheek is going to help you keep upright again, so centered. Maybe you're only going over to the left a little bit, and what could help you is placing your hand onto a block just to get that arm a little bit longer, to give you something to push into, to really think about this central line driving up to the sky. Now I want you to really focus on grounding, getting heavy, releasing all the tension that's building up through those muscles. For me, I can feel my back leg here, because remember, my problem from the mobility class was internal rotation. So this back leg is internally rotating, whereas my front leg on external rotation, where I'm a lot stronger, isn't necessarily the problem, and I'm not leaning over to the side because for my external rotation is a lot stronger than my internal. So try to stay here, try to stay lifted, breathing, relaxing. Maybe again closing down the eyes if that's going to help you just really settle down here. With every exhale, really physically feel those changes happening within your body, completely releasing. Trying to soften through all areas, all the way down to those feet. Really slowly if you can, if not we'll meet on the other side. If you can, pick up the knees all the way round to the back of the mat. So we've got our right leg in front this time, exactly the same. Right hip directly forward, knee straight out. Right leg to the side. Left hip, left knee, left foot behind. Both sides can feel different, so just go with it, assess how you feel, put that block under the right bum cheek, onto your hand, whatever you need to do. And really allow yourself to settle in. Keep the shoulders square, chest square to the front. And allow everything to grow heavy. Again, you can absolutely close down your eyes, and that is going to help you settle in. Take 3 more rounds of breath. Next, inhale again if you can, knees all the way up, and this time swing the legs all the way around to the front. Knees directly up, hands in front, big inhale, lift the crown of the head, draw that belly button to your spine. And on your exhale, as slowly as you possibly can through every single vertebrae. Almost like you're going so slowly that you're not really going anywhere. Keeping that belly drawn in. And when you can, all the way down. Knees up again to the sky, feet flat on the ground. And then just drop the knees over to the left. Right hand out, gaze over to the right. Maybe you take your left leg on top of that right just for an extra stretch through the outer hip. Still breathing here, really feel that distance from that right knee all the way through to the tip of the fingers, growing further away from one another. Slowly switching over to the other side, knees up all the way down to the right, left hand out, gaze over to the left. Again, maybe that right foot comes on top of that left leg. Feeling that nice stretch down through the outside of that left hip. Now we're working towards our Shavasana. So if there is any extra movements that you know that you need for your body, when we come out of this twist, you go for it. Inhale all the way up. Working into our Shavasana, taking the legs out long, as wide or wider than the mat. Hands away from the body, palms facing up. Closing down the eyes, letting the feet fall out to the side. And with every exhale, just like we did in deer pose, grow heavier and heavier into the mat. Absolutely, thoughts may come and go. Just don't hold on to any of them. Let them pass by like a cloud in the sky. No attachment, no expectations. If there are any areas that you identify that tension in, with your next exhale, feel that leaving your body. Allowing your body to grow lighter, almost like you're floating.
Slowly starting to kick some movement, wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. Coming into a really big stretch, hands out long behind you, toes reaching away from the fingers. Bend up the knees, roll over to the right side, the yang side, bicep is your pillow. Keeping the eyes closed, slowly push yourself all the way up through seated. Coming back to your comfortable seated position, hands onto the thighs, palms facing up. And let yourself settle in here. You've done some amazing work today, so feel really, really proud of yourself. Hands to heart center, bow the chin to the chest. Coming to the end of the class when you're ready, taking the hands away from the eyes and blinking the eyes open.